Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio. We are brought to you by championnews.net. Make sure you get our email every week. You can go to championnews.net and sign up for that. This is Ann Parisi. Our founder, Jack Roser, and myself have Jerry Kohn with us. And during the break, we were talking about teachers that can't do this on their own. They can, but what about the
intimidation?
Intimidation, that is the word.
By fellow co-workers?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of district you work in. I've never felt any kind of intimidation, or there's a few people I guess that had a little animosity towards me. But I think if you stick to your guns, they'll respect you for what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I think I try to get along with everyone, even the union people. But like I said, I think it's important if you feel like I felt very strongly that I could not, in good conscience, be a member of this union. Like I said, they were spending money for abortion, which offended my beliefs, and so I couldn't.
Don't you believe in a woman's right to choose?
Well, I believe in the sanctity of life.
But didn't you hear some of that? That how radical are you?
Oh, sure,
you want to send women back to the dark ages.
The NEA holds a convention every year, and every year there are some pro-life teachers at that convention who fight to get that part of the charter, their statement of beliefs and resolutions out of there, but they continue to put this pro-choice resolution in the middle of the NEA. It has nothing to do with education. But all these pro-life teachers, of course, now are part of an organization that specifically endorses abortion.
They're part of an organization, the NEA, that is pretty much a socialist type of a thing. And
look at take a look. Go online and look at the charter from the last convention. It reads like a leftist manifesto.
Absolutely.
But like I said, it has.
You wouldn't think it had anything to do with educating children. It is another manifesto.
Where can you get something like that? Is that online? Someone could go to the. The NEA.
You go. I think it's on NEA.org, the union's website. If they are not so embarrassed about it that they bury it somewhere, but you can find it online just by NEA resolutions or things like that. But if you look at that, it's got a number of statements that have nothing to do with education, that are morally offensive to me anyway. And I don't say that they can't believe those things.
These people have been riding high.
I don't say the union can't believe that thing, but just leave me out of it.
But here's the problem with the union.
I want nothing to do with it.
That is their agenda. But they're pushing it on you.
Right, they're making people contribute money to it.
Making people contribute, and that's part of the problem with Planned Parenthood. Yeah. You know what, Planned Parenthood, if you want to run an organization like that, run it. But why make taxpayers pay for it that don't want to?
That's effectively what they're doing, yeah.
That's horrible. That is the antithesis of freedom and liberty, and I think that's what unions have become. I do think perhaps back in the 1930s, when immigrants were coming here, they couldn't speak, they couldn't read the language. There were not a lot of.
You're giving your unions way too much credit.
I'm talking.
Listen,
America
and its economy were the finest thing in the world.
Agreed.
And just take it easy, because all of our ancestors came here for the American experience, and the American experience is not Walter Reuther and all of the unions that.
Who's Walter Reuther?
He was the guy that was head of the United Auto Workers, the guy with the leather gloves that, you better join or else.
That's despicable.
He's gone now, luckily.
Gone meaning gone to the great by and by, the great union called hell?
He's gone to the great Union Hotel, right? He and his brother Victor were, really tough guys. They lived in Russia for a while, and they've been quoted as saying, "Yours for a Soviet America." That's what they tried to give us in this thing.
We teach kind of a false version of history in the public schools too. That I teach history too, and a lot of what these kids walk away from reading the textbook is that unions saved America, and thank goodness for unions. But they don't appreciate the fact that in a free market economy, everyone has the right to compete. And that no one has the right to monopolize or take over and use force against others. And that's the message that I try to deliver to my kids, is that the market economy works if it's allowed to be competitive, if we don't allow individuals or governments or unions to dominate the way they do.
I agree.
But all the teachers are union people, and they generally produce this kind of false version of history.
Let me give you quotes from the other big teachers union. American Federation of Teachers, which is a lot more dignified about teaching. It's just they're a more old-fashioned trade union. And the head of that teachers union said, American education is the equivalent of Soviet agriculture. That was said long ago, and it's gotten worse since. And he also said, when the school children start paying union dues, I'll represent the interests of school children. Now, he was being very frank and honest when he said that stuff, but if you want perfidy and pretense, there's no place better than the NEA, the National Extortion Association, as was called by Forbes.
I think I've heard that quote before.
Shanker did that, yeah.
Well, the unions have created an industry out of thin air, and there's two things that I believe cause our cost of living to increase. One is the government, and two has been the unions.
Well,
Certainly true. Made us non-competitive in the whole world. It's why we've lost the automobile industry and many others to foreign countries.
well, I was a public school victim, and I was taught back in public school that the unions were preventing people from losing their hands. So I do want to talk more about this. We are going to come back here in just a minute. Stay with us.